Unfortunately for Angel Reese, she's dead last. And I'm not kidding you in this list of players. And she looks really, really bad in comparison. And we're going to take a look at that.
What if I told you that one of the most talked about rookies in the WNBA is also among the least efficient when it comes to scoring? Angel Reese might rule social media, but her shooting stats paint a reality her fans often choose to ignore.
So refreshing to see some shots actually make it refreshing! Oh no, that's Angel Reese's music! Bang! You like Mustangs? Your favorite player is Lawal Dang? Oh, you said bang!
Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will shock you. If you thought Angel Reese was struggling, the truth is, she's doing even worse than you imagined. The stats don't lie. Once you see where she ranks among WNBA scorers, you'll understand why even basketball legends are starting to question her. And by the end, I'll tell you about two icons Reese thought supported her, but now they're calling her out. The gap between hype and reality is bigger than you think. Let's dive in.
A couple of the most baffling things that I've seen this offseason is the lack of videos involving Angel Reese working on layups. Now, look, the layup issue is a real issue for Angel Reese, and I don't understand the taking all the... I mean, yeah, sure, you can practice two-point shots just inside the three-point line. You can practice three-point shots, but there seems to be an emphasis on that from Angel Reese, and I don't understand, because she should be trying to perfect her game inside 5 foot.
Did you know Angel Reese ranks dead last in shooting efficiency among all WNBA volume scorers? The numbers are even worse than most people realize. This is something we seriously need to talk about.
All right, back to business. Line bag work, Brittany Griner. You said you rang? Bang!
Somebody said she's got the coordination skills of a baby giraffe. I don't know what baby giraffes did to receive that kind of slander, but I won't stand for it. Bang!
The WNBA is back in little over a month. Friendly reminder, we're not watching because of one person. We're watching because of her, too.
When analysts judge a player's offensive value, true shooting percentage is the gold standard. Unlike regular field goal percentage, it includes everything: twos, threes, and free throws, giving a full picture of scoring efficiency. In a league where every possession counts, this stat shows the difference between truly elite scorers and players who just take a lot of shots.
Chicago Sky's Angel Reese found herself at the very bottom of the list, sitting at 30th, with a true shooting percentage of just 46.4%. The contrast between the two rookies, both with massive college followings and major fan bases, ignited strong reactions online.
Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Angel Reese is sitting at a true shooting percentage of just 46.4%, placing her 30th in the league. That's not just below average, it's near the bottom. For context, most experienced WNBA players stay above 50%, with stars often going way beyond that. Reese isn't even close to that level.
Be nice to look this clumsy at your job and then declare you're underpaid. Privilege! Bang! Justice for all baby giraffes out there. I will fight the good fight. Bang! There's one thing to take from these videos: never give up, because if she can do it, you can do it too.
You might think, well, she's just a rookie adjusting to pro competition. But that excuse falls apart when you compare her to her peers. Caitlyn Clark, facing the toughest defensive attention of any rookie, has an impressive 58.3% true shooting percentage, ranking 6th overall in the league, 1st among rookies, and 2nd among all guards, only behind Kelsey Mitchell. Clark is excelling under the same rookie challenges that supposedly explain Reese's struggles.
Caitlyn Clark may just be starting her WNBA journey, but she's already making waves, not only with highlight plays, but also with cold, hard numbers. A recent viral post on X revealed the true shooting efficiencies of the league's top 30 scorers, and it sparked quite the controversy among fans. Clark, now a rookie with the Indiana Fever, ranked 6th amongst all shooters with a true shooting percentage of 58.3%. True shooting percentage takes into account a player's field goals, three-pointers, and free throws, making it a key indicator of overall scoring efficiency. For a first-year player, It's elite company to be in.
Let's assume for a second that Caitlyn Clark is just an exception. Well, guess what? The 4th overall pick, Rickea Jackson, also ranks high with a 55.2% true shooting percentage. Meanwhile, Cameron Brink, the 2nd overall pick, and Camila Cardoso, the 3rd overall pick, didn't make the efficiency list simply because they didn't score enough to meet the statistical threshold due to their extended injuries last season.
Clark's game has translated well to the pros. Her shooting from deep remains a threat, 33.9% from beyond the arc. She was 13th in the league, while her mid-range and inside games are just as effective. She ranked 4th in 2-point field goal percentage. I mean, see, that's where I'd expect Angel Reese to be real high. Nah. And 2nd in free throw shooting with a remarkable 90.9%. Her effective field goal percentage, EFG, which adjusts for 3-point shots being worth more, stood at 52.1%, good for 10th overall.
Now here's something truly shocking that no one's talking about. Nearly 40% of Reese's celebrated rebounds come from collecting her own missed shots. Let that sink in. While her rebounding numbers may seem impressive at first glance, they're actually somewhat inflated by her own inefficiency. She's literally creating rebounding opportunities for herself by missing shots that most post players would easily convert. If her true shooting percentage doesn't convince you, her effective field goal percentage might. At a league-worst 39.5%, Reese is essentially a black hole for offensive possessions. When she takes a shot, the Chicago Sky would statistically be better off if almost anyone else had taken that shot instead. This inefficiency affects the entire offense, limiting her team's potential despite her other contributions. I guess that's why no one bothers to guard her.
By contrast, Reese's shooting woes drew criticism. She finished 30th in 2-point percentage at 40%. God. 29th in 3-point percentage, 18.8%. And her effective field goal percentage was a league low 39.5%. That's crazy as hell. And I don't want to hear nothing about a big. We're going to take a look at something. Even from the free throw line, often a reliable scoring source for bigs, she landed 27th. Considering most of Reese's shots come from close to the rim.
And guess what? These numbers actually get worse when we start looking at exactly where her shots are coming from and how she's missing them. We haven't even gotten to the most damning stats yet. The truth is, Angel Reese's shooting efficiency isn't just bad for a rookie. It's historically bad for any WNBA player with her usage rate and shot selection. Players who shoot this poorly typically don't get high usage rates because coaches can't afford to run offensive possessions through such inefficient scorers. Yet, Reese continues to hold a significant offensive role despite all the evidence suggesting she shouldn't.
Some fans found the numbers hard to stomach. A 6'3" post player that shot 90% of shots from 5 foot within 5 foot is at 30. Another one said, OMG, Angel, get up, girl.
Those high usage, low efficiency numbers are concerning on their own. But when you isolate Angel Reese's performance within 5 feet of the basket, where her 6 feet 3 inches frame should give her a clear advantage, the statistics become even more alarming. At just 44.5% from point-blank range, she's being outshot by guards who are 7 inches shorter than her. In basketball terms, this isn't just disappointing. It's a fundamental failure to leverage her most obvious physical gifts.
I'm going to be honest with you here. I think it is a deal that is eventually going to get her benched in the WNBA. I think that will happen one day because a good coach, if she ever gets one, is going to look at this and be like, you're 6'4", you're 6'3", you're too damn inefficient. I can't have you on the court. And, just perfect your craft. And then worry about all the other collateral things around you after the fact.
Let's put this into perspective. At 6 feet 3 inches with an impressive wingspan, Reese should be a nightmare for defenders near the basket. When a player of her stature gets positioned inside, conventional basketball wisdom says it should be nearly automatic points. Yet, somehow, Reese converts these high-percentage opportunities at a rate that would make even perimeter players cringe. Most WNBA players hit these shots at rates between 55% to 65%, which makes Reese's 44.5% conversion rate truly stand out for all the wrong reasons. Even worse, from shots between 5 to 9 feet from the basket, she shoots a dismal 11%. That's right, she makes just 1 out of every 10 shots from mid-range.
It's just a fact. She is, it's more than a fact. She is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats. I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%.
What makes this statistic particularly damning is the comparison to smaller guards who face significantly greater challenges finishing at the rim. Take Kelsey Mitchell, for example, who stands at just 5 feet 8 inches. Despite giving up 7 inches to Reese, Mitchell consistently finishes better at the rim, with an astonishing 60% on shots within 5 feet from the basket. Think about that for a second. A guard who barely reaches Reese's shoulders is more effective in the paint than someone with every physical advantage imaginable. This isn't just about height, either. Game footage analysis reveals specific technical flaws in Reese's finishing approach: poor footwork, inconsistent release points, and a tendency to rush shots even when uncontested. One analysis even described her shooting form as a basketball fundamentals horror show, noting her crossed wrists and a pushing action originating from her hips rather than a proper shooting motion. Some fans even compare it to watching an uncoordinated baby giraffe.
This tells you, look at effective bigs in the league. Jonquel Jones, one of my favorite players, actually. Brittany Griner, 1 and 2. All right, that's what it's supposed to look like for somebody that's 6'3" and above. Asia Wilson, way up there. Then Mitchell, then Clark. Look, if you want to compare Angel to somebody like Aaliyah Boston, look at that. She's right here, 53.7% from 2-point percentage. She was ranked 13th in the league. Angel was ranked 30th.
The contrast becomes even more stark when comparing Reese to elite post players with similar physical attributes. Aja Wilson converts 67.3% of her shots at the rim, while Brittany Griner hits 63.1% of hers. Both players understand how to use their size effectively, establishing deep position, using proper footwork, and finishing with technique rather than just relying on height. Even Caitlyn Clark, who stands 4 inches shorter at 6 feet 0 inches and faces much more defensive pressure as a primary ball handler, converts 54.1% of her 2-point attempts. Clark achieves this despite taking more difficult shots, often creating her own looks against set defenses rather than receiving passes in established position.
Angel Reese doesn't look so hot here. Caitlyn Clark, she did that as a rookie, folks. Think about that a minute. As a rookie.
So what exactly explains this massive disparity? It's certainly not physical limitations. Reese has been blessed with the ideal basketball body. It's not defensive attention either. While she does draw defenders, she doesn't face the constant double and triple teams that Clark navigates. The inescapable conclusion is that Reese's struggles stem from fundamental technical flaws in her game. This point-blank inefficiency represents what one source called a career-threatening issue that demands immediate attention. When a player's entire offensive value proposition should be converting high-percentage looks near the basket and they're failing at precisely that task, it raises profound questions about their long-term viability at the professional level. So let's break down what's really going on.
There's footage out there of Angel working on her game, in the lab, as they say, and mostly what we see is Angel shooting three-pointers.
With Angel Reese's basketball career hanging by a thread due to her glaring finishing issues, you'd expect her to be focusing on perfecting her layups, but her social media tells a different story. Recent workout videos show her practicing three-pointers with mechanics that would make any coach cringe. Instead of working on her struggles in finishing at the basket, she's inexplicably prioritizing long-range shooting, an area where she converted only 18.8% of her attempts last season. It's like watching someone try to parallel park before they've even learned how to start the car. The technical flaws in Reese's shooting form are clear to anyone with basic basketball knowledge. Her inconsistent base creates poor balance from the start. When she releases the ball, her arms and wrists cross awkwardly, disrupting the alignment needed for accuracy. Her jerky release looks more like someone shot-putting a medicine ball than shooting a basketball. These aren't minor issues in an otherwise solid foundation. These are fundamental flaws that any competent shooting coach would address with middle school players.
Okay, so here you see she's being fed the ball. She's in the right corner. She gets the ball. And again, if you're going to work on expanding your game, okay. But at least make sure that your technique is right. So I'm hoping that this guy and whoever else works with her will work on her technique, because I don't care how many you shoot like this with nobody guarding you. If your technique is not right, you might get a few here or there by happenstance or whatever, but you're not going to consistently knock down shots.
What's most perplexing is Reese's unwavering focus on practicing the wrong skills. While her workout videos highlight three-point attempts that miss the mark, she's completely neglecting the inside finishing that could make her a legitimate offensive threat. This goes beyond poor shooting mechanics. It points to a deeper issue. Reese seems to fundamentally misunderstand her role as a player. This misguided training focus isn't just a bad basketball decision. It reflects a player who doesn't fully grasp her own strengths and limitations. When you're 6 feet 3 inches with incredible length and athleticism, but shooting worse from point-blank range than a guard 7 inches shorter, your training priorities should be crystal clear. Yet, Reese seems intent on becoming a player she's not, rather than harnessing her natural advantages.
Her arms, her wrists are crossed. Her wrists are crossed, which is the wrong form. Your wrist should not be crossed. You should be totally aligned to your target. So this means that her shooting hand, which is her left, is crossing over. Her elbow, therefore, jutting out.
So what have the legends said about Reese's shot mechanics? When basketball royalty speaks, smart players listen. Unfortunately for Angel Reese, that royalty isn't exactly singing her praises these days. What started as enthusiastic support from Hall of Famers has now shifted into something far more uncomfortable: public intervention. The most telling moment came on Reese's own podcast, where WNBA legend Lisa Leslie didn't hold back, directly addressing the fundamental issue that's holding back Reese's game.
Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me? Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period.
Leslie stated bluntly, addressing the elephant in the room that Reese herself seems reluctant to acknowledge. This wasn't just casual feedback. It was a 4-time Olympic gold medalist and 3-time WNBA MVP, pointing directly at the career-threatening flaw that Reese continues to ignore.
This is like WNBA leveling up and all eyes on her now. I think that she knows that she has to completely restructure her form, because that is not the way to be efficient in the post position that she is in. At the post position that she's in, a layup is supposed to be a given. She needs to improve her touch around the rim, like all over the place, but she seems to take these desperation shots.
What makes this intervention so striking is how it contrasts with the development paths of other young stars. While Caitlyn Clark trains daily in the gym with a focus on game-specific scenarios aimed at improving on-court chemistry, her sessions emphasize fundamental shooting mechanics, mid-range finishing, and creating opportunities through screens and cuts, all directly relevant to improving her game. Her training is purposeful, acknowledging both her strengths and areas for growth. This glaring difference hasn't gone unnoticed by fans. After watching Reese's latest 3-point shooting drill video, one viewer asked, "Is Reese trying to be Steph Curry or Caitlyn Clark?" The question cuts to the core of the issue: a player trying to become something she's not, rather than capitalizing on her own natural abilities. Then came the awkward moment when Shaq delivered what some fans described as verbal body shots, further emphasizing the disconnect between Reese's potential and her current trajectory.
You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jameson. You know who Antoine Jameson is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is. Like, everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry. Your shot is your shot.
One of the most talked about moments was when Shaq compared Reese to Anton Jameson. While Jamison was a solid player with a respectable NBA career, he never reached the Hall of Fame, a sharp contrast to Shaq's own legendary status. By drawing this comparison, Shaq seemed to imply that Reese could end up more as a role player rather than the future icon she aspires to be. This comparison struck a nerve, and it clearly hit hard.
He called her Antoine Jameson. Most people, trust me, she was offended.
She didn't know who that was.
She probably does. She's a basketball fan. She probably does. But, I mean, Antoine Jameson ain't cracking nobody's top 200 in NBA history. And this woman thinks she's one of the greatest WNBA players or greatest women's basketball player of all time.
Then came the critique of Reese's layup technique. Shaq dismissed it as basic, adding, "You're too worried about what people think. Stop caring and just focus on your game." For someone like Reese, who has built her brand on unapologetic self-expression, Shaq's unsolicited advice felt more like a dismissal of her entire approach. It was a sharp contrast to the confidence and individuality she's known for, making his words sting even more.
Oh, she can't be rookie of the year because all she do is do the flip shots, get rebounds. Just remember all that shit that they say. And
Reese, meanwhile, seems to be doing the opposite, doubling down on three-point shooting despite her elite rebounding abilities and size advantages inside. It's like watching someone with a flat tire stop to polish their hubcaps. The legends of the game see it. Fans see it. Analysts see it. Everyone, it seems, except Reese herself. Look, the numbers paint a clear picture. While Angel Reese continues to struggle with fundamental shooting issues, Caitlyn Clark is quietly revolutionizing the WNBA with her remarkable efficiency. It's not just analysts recognizing it. Basketball legends are taking notice too.
We knew that Caitlyn Clark was this phenomenal talent, but she was entering a league that she was not familiar with. She was a rookie. The Indiana Fever have been actively building and rebuilding their organization and this team, and they have a lot of incredible pieces. But the fact that they were able to get into the playoffs and be a team that, although they didn't, advance far in the playoffs, they were a team that we kept saying, if you face them, they're gonna make it difficult for you. That organization then saw that and said, we're capitalizing on this and we're doing it now.
Clark's deep shooting remains lethal, but what's truly impressive is how her mid-range and interior scoring have translated to the pro level. Her impact goes beyond statistics. She's reshaping how the game is played and perceived. The Indiana Fever are building around a player who elevates everyone around her. For fans of women's basketball, 2025 promises something special. A season where basketball IQ, efficiency, and teamwork take center stage. Are you excited? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.